Hey guys, so glad you could join me today. Today we're going to talk about doll faces. I know some of you have purchased my ragdoll pattern, and if you have an embroidery machine, then you can embroider the faces onto your dolls in advance. But I actually had a few dolls, and I know there's some of you who don't have an embroidery machine, and getting the faces on your dolls can be a challenge because you don't want your doll to look all freaky, weird, strange, and whatnot. So I have, like I said, I've got quite a few dolls that look like this, that don't have a face at all, and they're so sad. But once I've gone through all the trouble of doing a prototype doll, yeah, okay. So that's the problem. I have dolls that are prototypes before I make more patterns. So I don't put faces on them because I don't know if the prototype's going to come out in the right dimensions, proportions that I want. So I end up with all these very nice stuffed dolls with no faces on them. And I'm not really a good artist. I don't draw very well. So I've watched a whole bunch of videos and I've kind of sort of figured it out. So here's a doll, and you may have seen this particular doll before in a video that I did about putting hair on a doll. Okay, so I tried painting the face on the doll, and as you could see, not good. Not good at all. So I'm going to show you guys and gals a way to do it. Here's how I do it. Hopefully this product that I've created, I'll have on my Etsy store, and you can get it, and your dolls will have pretty little faces too. So let me show you how it all comes out. So hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to use one of my stencils and make a doll face for your cloth doll. And you're going to need some supplies. You're going to need some pens, some fabric markers, and some straight pins, and of course your cloth doll. What happened to me is that I had, like I might have mentioned earlier, a whole bunch of cloth dolls, because sometimes I make the prototypes, but I don't go through all the trouble of putting a face on them because I don't know what the prototype body is going to look like. So I end up with a whole bunch of dolls that don't have a face. And here's one. I was practicing putting a face on her, and it kind of came out okay. I messed up the nose. So I'm going to work on the other side. And this one I drew from scratch, which did not come out well either. And then I even tried it on the other side. Didn't come out well. So, ooh, dolls will be two-faced. Ha! That was a lame joke. But anywho, so now I finally think I have perfected the template. And if it is perfected, then it'll be on sale in my Etsy store. And you can get your own. I'm going to try to make a whole bunch of different ones. So this is actually about 4 inches wide, because this doll's face is about 6 inches by about 6 inches. Okay, so this is a decent sized doll face. So I'm just going to center it. And if you do need to figure out how to center it, then you could get, take a ruler and measure if you want to be exacting. But I pretty much know where I want the face to be. So I'm just going to pin it down to hold it in place a little bit. You know, that's one of the first things that you're going to do. And okay, so I've got it down. Now I'm going to take my pen, and it doesn't matter if you're using a pen, because you're going to use either your fabric pens or you can use some acrylic paint. Now, if you're creating dolls for children, I cannot recommend to you what type of paint or whatever you're going to use. That is entirely up to you. But anyway, I'm making my dolls, and I make my dolls mostly to show people how to make dolls. Yeah, sometimes I give them away, but yeah, that's another story. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my pen. I've got the face pen down nicely, and just going to ever so lightly kind of just trace through the stencil. And it took me a while to figure out. I went through a lot of designs on this. So I wanted to write nose, the eyes. I wasn't real good. I'm not real good with drawing eyelashes. So I made sure the stencil cut them out. And I like a mouth that's more doll-like. So we're just going to stencil this in. Because remember, like I said, you're going to use your fabric pens or some paint to paint this in, so the pen lines don't really matter. You could use the invisible fabric tracing pens if you want. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going over this because I don't know, this pen, I've been using it too much. So you just want to make sure it stays in place. And just gonna draw through there just so you can see what you're doing, because when you use your paint pens it'll be different. So there's that. And eyebrows, because she's a doll, she doesn't have big crazy eyebrows, or shouldn't have to because she's a doll. And just gonna trace along there. The thing about when you have the dolls like this is when you mess up, it's really hard to correct a mistake. So that's why I had to come up with stencils, because I had so many of these dolls just laying around now that I've cleaned up the studio. Yeah. Okay, so there's eyebrow. So we're just gonna draw in this eye. And there. Okay, I think I've kind of got that all done. And now we can just take this out, or take it off. And I know this looks really weird, but it's gonna come out cute. So, okay, so there we go. We've got your nice little doll face all ready to be painted. So, oh, drop my pen. So I've got my fabric pen and I'm just gonna outline everything again. And see, comes out much better. And these are the eyelashes and the eyes. Take your time with this and make sure you get the fabric pens so they don't bleed into your fabric. But I would strongly encourage you to try your pens on sample fabric first, because if it doesn't look right or it bleeds through, then you're gonna be upset. Okay, because I am right-handed like this. Let me do it this way. Can you see that? Yeah, y'all can see that. So doing this doll's eyebrows better than my own. Okay, so there. Okay. Oop. Oh, and now we do the mouth. It took me a while, but I love this little mouth, and I found the perfect way to draw it. So I'm just going to trace it and outline it. Ta-da! So her face is coming along. Looks really good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give her, I'm just go ahead and put her a little lipstick on. And, you know, obviously use whatever fabric colors you prefer. The good thing about the fabric, okay, so like I said, I took my red fabric pen, or you could use pink or whatever color floats your boat. And you can just gonna give her lips some color. Okay, now for the eyes, I don't have a white pen. Well, I do, but it's out of ink or paint, whatever. So I'm just gonna take a real skinny little paintbrush here, and I'm gonna take my white paint, and you want to fill in the eyes. And then this is a bit of a process, because once you do the white part of the eyes, then you need to decide, is your doll going to have brown eyes or blue eyes? And then so you'll need the blue or brown color, and then a little more white, and then that's how you'll make your doll's eyes. Remember, this was one of my first attempts, so don't laugh. So I'm just gonna, this is not the right brush. I'm not finding anything today. I had another brush. Okay, this one will have to work. Okay. So just want to go ahead and fill in the center part. This is much better and goes a lot faster if you have a fabric pen. And I've got to go back and get another fabric pen because mine was empty. And see, one of the things I like about this particular stencil that I did is that the eyelashes, yeah, are already there. So now I'm actually possibly going to have to use a second coat, but that'll be fine. So that's one coat. And I'm gonna let this dry, and we'll come back and we'll work on touching this up a little bit. But since you're now making your cloth dolls, then you want them to look pretty. And if you haven't gone through the expense of a embroidery machine to embroider the eyes in, like I showed you with some of my other dolls, this is a pretty good option. And I'm not really good at drawing freehand, but I can sure paint by number. I mean, color, fill in the blanks kind of thing here. So once I got the template under control, that makes it a lot easier. So there. Okay, we're getting there, and we're gonna let this dry, and then we'll come back later and we'll finish working on the eyes. Then if you're making one of these dolls, then it'll be time to close up the top if you haven't done so already, and then you can start putting the hair on your doll. Thanks for watching. Okay, so now the paint is dry, and if you've got a little ruler, or I think I got this online somewhere, and it just has like some small circle shapes. So you want to pick the size of the doll's eye, for the inner circle, for the pupil. And I'm gonna go with brown. So I'm gonna get my brown fabric marker, and remember, this dries really quickly, so it's not that big of a deal. Oh, before I paint, I'm just gonna lightly trace it. Just a little circle in the center. Okay. Okay. So now, if I want to make sure I don't get it all feathered, I'm just going to go ahead and fill it in. So she's going to have brown eyes, but you know, if you want your doll to have green eyes or blue, you know, it's up to you. Oh, that rhymed. It's up to you. See how it's starting to come along, and she's not starting to look so creepy. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and fill that in. Okay, I probably need to get a darker brown. but okay. So I'll just put a little bit more. Okay, voila. Now, oh, and you see, I did mess up. I went outside the line a little bit, but oh well. Gonna take the black, and I just want to fix her eyelashes a little bit. I'm gonna make them a little longer. You know, how you do yours is entirely up to you. But make it a little bit there. Pretty. Okay, what else I want to do? Okay, so you need another circle in the middle that is the center of her eye. Okay, so find another small circle and gonna go ahead and make that you know, the iris of the eye, which should be black. So just gonna fill that in right there. And oh, what size did I use? Was that the size I used? I know I didn't use that size. Oh, yes I did. So that, and a little more right here. Now remember, like I said, I don't have the white marker, so gosh, let's see if I can fix this without screwing it up too badly. Now her eye looks okay. It looks fine. See? Pretty. You might just take a little bit of your white paint, and remember, we're gonna have to let this dry. Oops. Shake that up. And I just need a tiny little dot. Oh, that was too big. It should have been more like that. Okay, I will, let's see, can I wipe this off? Yep, okay. Wipe that off. Sometimes make a mistake, make it darker. And put the lid back on there so it doesn't dry out. And I just want a little tiny dot. Ah, okay, ta-da! Look at there! Isn't she pretty? Now, when she gets some hair, she's gonna look awesome. Okay, so thank you for watching my doll tutorial. Hopefully soon in my Etsy store, I'll have the actual templates ready for sale. And it'll help make your doll face making task a lot easier. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Be safe. Bye.